is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. Coming to you with a quick video. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, a team that a lot of people think can make the playoffs, a team that a lot of people think going to be rebuilding, a team that, people believe that Kevin Love is the best player on. Will he be Minnesota Timberwolves? Kevin Love, will he be the Kevin Love of in the Cleveland days when he's just an 18 and 10 guy? We don't really know, but let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to start off with Kevin Love. Obviously, when you look at this roster, you see the highest paid player on this roster. It's definitely going to be Kevin Love. He deserves it because he's been loyal to them. They traded for him. They traded a #1 pick in Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love. And they do have some other players on this roster that's highly paid. But Kevin Love, he was the guy that everybody wanted traded where everything failed and faltered. He was the first person to blame. They poked the blame on him a lot. Some people respected Kevin Love and said he's still one of the better players. Some people thought Kevin Love was overrated. But his role was reduced a lot in Cleveland because they did have Kyrie and they did have LeBron. But he was still able to post solid numbers in the regular season and become an all-star the last couple of years. Obviously, he fell from the all-star. Then he was able to get back into all-star form. But one of the worst part about Kevin Love is that he's just been injured so much. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. And his team won 50 games last year with all the trades and with all the injuries, thanks to the greatness of LeBron James. Closing out games, coming back from deficits, and just, having that veteran presence with this team also helped them win a lot of games when they was tight, when they was close, and all that works. But now you don't have LeBron James. And I think that that's a big thing. Even though they are in the East, I do not have this team making the playoffs. And it was tough because I see Tyronn Lue is a decent coach. A lot of people don't like him. People think he's an overrated coach, but I think it's more or less they give so much credit to LeBron that they underrate Tyronn Lue a little bit. And the same thing with David Blatt. I never felt like David Blatt should have got fired. I actually thought he was doing a good job. But if things ain't going right, things not going in the way they want them to go, and he was actually they had one of the top records when he got fired too. He was not able to see out his vision with his team. And that's the pressure of having superstar players, because if you're not winning and you're not competing, you're going to get the axe, because anybody wants to every coach wants to play with a team that can have a chance to win a championship. So as soon as he got fired, they hired Tyronn Lue, and they was able to get to the finals the last couple of years. But one thing I definitely say is Kevin Love has been a little underrated to me. He still can stretch out the floor. He shot great from 3 last year. When he was healthy, he still was able to give them some shots. Yes, he was less efficient. He wasn't as explosive. He wasn't as dominant. And that's why I think that the Minnesota Kevin Love is done. With all the injuries to his shoulders and all the other places, I think the best thing for him was that they lost in the finals in the sweep, so he can really just focus on this team, focus on his game, and rehabbing his body and getting up some shots and working on some different stuff in the offseason, because the playoffs and stuff been out for so long that all Kevin Love really has to do is just focus on basketball. And he still has a couple more weeks just to get that body right, just to get that mentality, and just to get some more workouts in, and just get back to doing the little things, just shooting the spot up three, knocking down elbow jumpers in the pick and roll, rolling to the rim with floaters, and just getting to the free throw line. And also still working on the mid and low post. If he just gets back to doing the little simple basic things, he can easily get 18 to 19 to 20 points a game, because somebody has to take the shots. on this team, and his numbers may be empty if they lose, and they may be inflated. But at the end of the day, he still has an opportunity to show that he still can play, and he deserves the money that he just got in the extension, and that he still is one of the best players. Now, like I said, he is going to put up a lot of numbers because of his shot attempts, and it's going to make him look a lot better than what he really is. But also, when he didn't have as many shot attempts, he didn't look as good as he could because he was under Kyrie and LeBron for those 2 seasons. And when he had opportunities to shine, he hit big shots in big games. He got big rebounds. He defended Steph Curry well on the switches. So he still was underrated. He still was smart. And it's good to see him get rewarded by the Cavaliers, whether he stays on this roster or not, which I doubt. He still is a player that is an asset. Him only being 30 years old and only getting paid under $25 million a year. Not only that, him still being able to be an elite rebounder and stretch forward, being mobile, I think he'll be fine. You still got guys like Jordan Clarkson that's playing for a contract. He still can give you instant offense. He might jack up a lot of shots. He might be inconsistent some nights, but you have to like his aggressive and his ability to collapse the defense and his ability to create his own shot. And I think that's going to be impressive for him. Channing Frye, I don't really see him playing a major role into this team. George Hill, I don't think they just traded for him for that season. I don't think he's a part of the big picture, but I do see him being another guy that if he has a revival season this year or an inflated season, I can definitely see them packaging him with a young player or even just getting rid of him in general to another team that needs him, whether it's a 6th, 7th, or 8th man role. But for him to get paid $19 million, that is a bad contract right now. But George Hill can play, especially when he's in attack mode and not just running the offense like he did in Utah. He was able to average a career high in points because he was always in attack mode. Hopefully he can bring that mentality this year, and they should be fine. Rodney Hood is a guy that is 25. He's fighting for his relevancy. Can he stay in the NBA? Is he still an NBA player? Is he worth a long-term commitment? Is he worth a high salary? That's something that he's going to be fighting adversity all year for. Is his staying power in the league, how much he should get paid, and can he still play? Is he still motivated? Do he still enjoy and love playing the game of basketball, even if this isn't a team for him? I think they need him more than ever, and if he has a bounce back season, I can see him getting locked up to at least a 3-year deal by somebody else. He might not get the salary that he wants, but he at least get that long-term stability, and he'll still be able to stay in the NBA for at least another 2 to 3 years if he has a decent to great season. He might get his $12 million, but I also see him getting under that, as a lot of other players have been getting underpaid lately. Kyle Korver, I don't really see him staying that long either, but he does add floor spacing like Rodney Hood and George Hill to guys like Colin Sexton, because he can play the 3 or the 2 position, and he's an elite sniper. Larry Nance is another guy that's under a short contract, but they're going to have to pay him. I don't think Larry Nance is a guy that's warrant a lot of money. He hasn't really did anything dominant. He doesn't really do anything great, but he is a solid rebounder, an athletic, mobile body, a guy that plays hard, works hard, and really puts a lot of effort and energy when he's on the court and take advantage of every opportunity that he can. But one thing I say is I can see him getting paid $5 to $8 million a year, and that'd be a solid, increase for him. But not only that, it'd be cheap for the Cavaliers to bring a 25-year-old that still has a lot of talent and a lot of upside, and he'd be another trade chip for them down the line. Cedi Osman, same way. He still got a lot to improve and a lot of things to do. He's going to have more opportunities and more minutes this year. Let's see how you utilize it. Colin Sexton is the gem of the team. He's only a kid. He's only 19 years old so far. He's a guy that really has a lot of upside. He can get to the basket. He can create his own shot. He's been working on that stop and pop jumper, that pull-up jumper in the pick and roll. Just imagine him in a pick and roll with Kevin Love. And then you have Rodney Hood in the corner. You have George Hill possibly playing the 2. You still have Kyle Korver on the field, and him just getting to that teeth of the defense and kicking out. and then he can always throw a lob or a dump off to Tristan Thompson for a dunk. He can always kick the ball out to Rodney Hood or Kyle Korver or J.R. Smith and Kevin Love at the spot up or even in the mid-range zone to hit some, easy passes. He's not the best playmaker. He's not the best decision maker, but he is only 19 years old, and he has been able to get to this point, and he was very feisty in college, and he was very aggressive, and he has a winning mentality. He just has to develop his body, get stronger, get more built so he can take more contact because he likes to get to the basket, but also work on that jump shot so he can knock down those spot-up jumpers. My only concern is him playing off the ball. Can he play off the ball? Can he shoot the off the ball three? Can he create off the ball consistent enough to keep the defense guessing and honest? I think that's the thing that matters the most. What can he bring to the table when he's off the ball? And can he play elite level defense as a rookie? I don't think so because he's going to have to learn and adjust to the playing style and the longevity of the NBA being 82 games. Plus, you're playing 30 to 35 minutes a game. Plus, you're going against the best players in the world consistently for all 82 games. So I think it's going to be tough. And I think they're going to be asking for a lot. But I think he's going to be in a race for the Rookie of the Year because he has a lot of opportunities on his team and he has some good floor spacing that fits his play style. Plus, he wants to be great. He when I seen him at Summer League, he was putting in a lot of work pre and post game, and I like it. As long as he continues to do that, the sky is the limit for the kid, and I can definitely see him being an all-star in the East. And, I don't know if he can be your best player on the championship team, but he can be an integral part of that. Obviously, you have J.R. Smith. He's silly, he's goofy, but he still is a quality player. I don't really see him on this team after this year, but as of right now, they might as well keep him until they can move him. If they can't get a second round pick or they got to add something, just be patient because worst case scenario, he comes off the books and you can try to get somebody else or just lose again and get 2 top 10 picks the next 2 years. Ante Zizic is who he is. He's not great. He's not dominant. He's a solid center, but a lot of upside. And maybe he gets more minutes, 15 to 25 minutes this year and shows something because Tristan Thompson is getting $17 million a year, one of their highest paid players. And he's only getting older. He's 27 years old, about to be 28. He still can play with a high motor, still can rebound, still can dominate the paint, and still can finish inside. And he's still a solid rim protector. Not great, not dominant, not crazy, not a guy that you can anchor your defense around, but he still is solid in that regard. And there you have it. The Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm done with them. I definitely want to see this team. This is one of the teams that you want to see because of Sexton, because they have enough talent to compete for that 6, 7, and 8 spot. I do think they win 25 to 30 games. I don't think they win more than that because at the end of the day, a lot of these players are older. They're not great defenders. They've never been great defenders, even with LeBron. There's always been one of the middle of the pack to worst defensive teams, even when they had LeBron. I don't think that changes. I don't think that improves. I don't think it gets worse. And their offense can be a little stagnated, especially since they don't have a player like LeBron that can create nothing out of something. Something out of nothing. But other than that, this is going to be a growing pain. This is going to be a tough season to watch for the Cavaliers as they've been in the finals the last couple of years. They've been a 50-win team the last couple of years, and this year is going to be the opposite. But worst case scenario is you compete and you see a lot of young potential. Best case scenario is you win 25 to 30 games or even a little less than that, but you don't really care because you get a top 10 pick. Plus, you get to play your veterans a lot of minutes. And if they do outperform their contract or play well than what we thought, they're trade assets for a second or a first round pick, which helps you out get another chance at a draft in a superstar, which, best case scenario, you get a top 5, top 10 pick to pair with Colin Sexton. And this is a draft with a lot of potential in those top 5, 6 spots. And if you do lose and you do underachieve, you get one of those top 5 slots or even top 7, you can potentially pair Colin Sexton with another young player, and you're good if you hit that player and he develops. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Cavaliers makes the playoff? Do you think they don't? Do you think Kevin Love can come back? Do you think he's overrated? Do you think he's underrated? Or even do you think that he didn't have an opportunity because look at LeBron and Kyrie stopped his shine? Or do you think he just had too many injuries and it took a toll on his body and he'll never be the same, which is maybe true? Or do you think he's going to earn his money with this contract? Do you think Sexton can be a franchise guy? Do you think he's a number 2? Do you think he's a number 3? Do you think he's overrated? Do you think he's underrated? Let me know in the comment section below. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Also, check out my spread shirt. Here you can find t-shirts just like this, hoodies, sweaters, mouse pads, water bottles, just with my brand and my logo on there. Thanks for supporting that and checking that out. At the end of the day, I love doing this. It's fun to do. Y'all guys love watching it. I love making it. And at the end of the day, we both enjoying this content, whether we watching, making it, or just a new person finding it and binge watching the rest of my videos. Thanks for the support. Let me know what you guys think. And, this is it for the Cleveland Cavaliers.